Today on Dirt Road Cred, I'm going to eat my own words and say I was wrong about the 85th anniversary 12 for 12 drop. We've got the 2026 version behind us here. We're going to do a full walk around and you're going to find out why we were wrong about this Jeep. If this is your first time stopping by, or maybe you've been watching for a while and you just didn't know about it, our 2026 Jeep Gladiator Mojave Vice is going to be given away. This thing comes equipped with a 5.7 liter V8, 1.5-inch Clayton lift, 37s, all sorts of great parts on this vehicle. There's no purchase necessary to enter. You can go on our website for full official rules, and this giveaway doesn't go too long. It's actually going to end just a few days after Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion on August 31st, 2026. So go on and check that out, because we've got, Ryan, we've got not only just shirts, merch, and all sorts of other stuff, but a lot of really cool products. Motobuilt, Clayton, Tyree, L&B Design Works, Azudo, Distinction Applied, a whole host on there as well. All right, guys, so let's break it down. What is included with the 85th anniversary? Right off the gate, this thing starts life as a Sport S Wrangler. So on this, we are in a granite crystal, and then you do get paint to match fender flares on this vehicle. Up front, we've got a stock Sport plastic front bumper with the inner side fill here that fills in the gap between the bumper and the fender flare. Gold or bronze tow hooks up on the front end here. And then as we go along the side of this vehicle, you do get the LED group. I don't believe this was an added on option onto this. This side decal, Ryan, is really neat because I'm actually curious if this paint code inside here is Anvil. This says Wrangler and has a gold or a bronze outside and an Anvil. That's got to be Anvil on the inside of that. That is something I didn't see online from the renderings, and something that I think is actually really cool. And to be honest, dude, we might have to order one of these for your Jeep. I think that would look fantastic on the Anvil with the bronze accents. A really neat thing, though, looking at the wheels and tires. So these are Nexen Rhodian ATX tires, which were actually a free upgrade onto this vehicle. And then the actual coating on the wheel, I believe, was agave. But we talked to a couple people over at Jeep Corporate while we were out in Moab, Utah. And the color design, or what they were going for, is from a rifle barrel when you blew the barrel. And I think, Ryan, this is personally one of my favorite things on the outside of this vehicle. You actually made mention as well, you really like the color of the wheel, and I couldn't agree more. I think it's a really cool looking wheel. It kind of goes interesting with the granite. It blends in a little bit with the granite, but I do think on other colors it would pop a little bit more. And then I'm trying to see if it's my glasses, but what I think is really cool is on the trail rated badge, if you get up close to this, they've got that same blued material on the backdrop. It's actually blued around the edge, bronze on the inset. Jeep, American flag, and the 85 with the side of a Willys MB on the side there. One thing I will grill Jeep on always, no rock rail on the vehicle. I think that all these Jeeps ought to have rock rails on them. Same thing in the back. Blued wheels there. We do have no fuel door on this thing at all, so it's just bare and open. Bronze tow hook on the back. You get one singular tow hook on here. Same with the blued wheel on this side. And then as we start to look at the inside of this vehicle, let's open up the tailgate. So one really cool thing that I noticed in the pictures that Anthony sent us was the actual Jeep branded badge on the back here. It shows pretty much every grill up through the iteration to the modern JL grill, and I think that's a really cool way to do this. I see YJ grills, TJ, CJ7, all of the grills are on there. And this one did come equipped with a black hardtop, so we don't have a paint matched hardtop on here. But Ryan, you gotta see these. I'm gonna open one up because Anthony said we could. Look at the floor mats. Check this thing out. This is called, I believe Anthony said Berber material, and it comes with, yes, anniversary floor mat. Yeah. So this is gonna come with front, rear, and then a giant rear floor mat. Look at this thing. I really do like the color of this. Arguably, I would say this is one of the best that I've seen when it comes to what's done to it. And I know we're going to talk about that I ripped on this thing when it first came out, but we're going to talk about at the end of the video why we think they did some really good things and then some things they could have changed. But the real star of the show with this Jeep is the inside. Let's pop open the rear door first, then we'll show you the front, because there's a lot of little hidden details with this one. Here it is, guys, the factory interior on the 85th anniversary. They finally did it and added plaid inserts to a seat that you can order right from the factory. This is absolutely incredibly cool on here. We've seen it on a ton of concepts, but guys, it looks like the same heather material just here on the back of the seat, as well as the surrounds, bronze stitch, and then you do get this really nice plaid, which is, you hear that, Ryan? A little bit different of a material than it's actually on the rest of the seat. Even the center, they flow it over into the center section here, and the back seats just look fantastic in this, but the real star of the show is up front, so let's show you everything that's up front in the interior of this Jeep. On the front, you're going to have the same continuation of the entire plaid on the basically the inset of the seat and part of the outer wings. What's cool about this is you can see it in the inset here, the inset down below, and they've actually incorporated enough plaid into this. I don't think it's overkill, and I think if they would have done the entire seat in plaid, it probably would have looked a bit gaudy. Some little details that we're also finding throughout the vehicle. See the little 85th tag on the side here. It looks like it's anvil with the bronze too. They really put a lot of thought into this. I would say the only thing they probably could have added was maybe do a plaid center console cover. Might have tied this in a little bit better. But then again, Ryan, is that too much plaid? You know, there is such a thing as having too much plaid. It looks like a 70s kind of basement wallpaper everywhere. But one thing, if we climb in here, one really neat thing that I think I'm a huge fan of, and I wish all the concept vehicles would have, check out the dash, dude. Same plaid on there, on the dash there. And then also, it looks like it's just laser etched 85th onto these vents. So both of the outside circular vents have 85 with the Willys going to the side. And then in the center section, you have this nice little plaque here with the original Willys MB grill and then the new 2026 JL grill right next to it. No switches, no lockers on this unit. It is just an auto kind of mirror here, heated seats, heated steering wheel, remote start on this unit, and I want to see everything that was added on. But overall, with the full walk around of the outside and the interior of this vehicle, there's a lot of great things about this Jeep, and there's also some downsides. Let's talk about our take on it, why we were wrong a little bit, and then why we were right. On today's viewer rig, we are checking out Ryan Goodman's absolutely beautiful YJ Sahara. This is a little bit of a throwback. You commonly see brand new vehicles or new generation vehicles. This is an absolutely awesome YJ with a 5.3 liter Chevy V8 LS swap with a 4L60E transmission and a stock column shifter. 35-inch Nitto trail grapplers with a 2.5-inch lift, 488 Yukon gears, which I'm sure rips with a V8 under the hood. Gobi roof rack, best top tweed seats, and a lot of other small upgrades. This Jeep is absolutely beautiful, and we would love to restore a YJ or a TJ on the channel. Ryan, thank you so much for submitting, and if you guys would like a chance at your rig being featured on the channel, be sure to hit us up with all your build info and some cool photos to rigs@dirtroadcredmedia.com. So guys, obviously a few months ago when this thing came out, we pretty much lit it up on camera. We grilled this Jeep pretty harshly because we thought for an 85th anniversary, you've got to do something more special than building up a Sport S. And you know, when that came out, we talked to a lot of folks and got a little bit better of an understanding with this 12 for 12 program that not everything can be a fully loaded Rubicon or have a Hemi engine. So they wanted to take the entire 12 for 12, run it across different trim levels, and that's why they gave the 85th to the Sport S, because they wanted to have different trims involved. Now, I am a big fan of a lot of things that we saw here. The blued wheels, the accent colors, as well as that full interior. I think they did a fantastic job on all of that. And when you're looking at a Sport, this thing is not overkill, but at the end of the day, it still is a Sport S. But after looking at the MSRP of this Jeep, it still comes in at $51,500, and the only additional upgrade was the 8-speed automatic transmission and a black 3-piece hardtop. This is a pretty expensive Sport S here, and honestly, after taking a closer look at it, I would say that we were right about grilling it, particularly the cost on this. Not necessarily that they chose a sport trim, but it's $51K for a sport vehicle. But we were wrong about the overall presentation of this vehicle. When you looked at some of the videos or even the light pictures that they had online, you couldn't tell the wheels, you couldn't tell the color schemes, and you really couldn't get a good grasp of what you're picking up here. Honestly, for us, if we were to buy a vehicle like this, maybe a set of 35s, a little 2-inch Mopar JPP lift, and then kind of leave it there. Perhaps throw on some steel bumpers, maybe a couple different things, or let the build get too crazy. But this is going to be for someone that is keeping this Jeep relatively like this. You're going to enjoy the wheels, you're going to enjoy the color accents, and honestly, for $51K, I think it will bring some people in. But for someone that's really wanting to off-road and get a vehicle that's very capable to do so, this is more of an on-road unit here that I would argue is very cool in creature comforts, but is a little bit higher on the price point. So we were wrong and we were right at the same time, and I think a lot of people, we'd be curious about what you have to say about this. Did you like the inside of this vehicle after seeing one in person like we did, or at least getting some of these shots? Do you think the price justifies the interior and what they added on? I know you guys are going to rip that pretty good, but think about it. For them to mass produce seats like this, to do custom inserts, to do all that, it all costs quite a bit of money, and I would say that they invested a little bit into this, and they've got to get it back somehow. So let us know your thoughts down below in the comments. We thoroughly love to read all those and get your opinions. And we know the guys at Corporate Jeep do too, because Man, you guys were killing it when they came out with their rewind the other week. We saw so many comments on Facebook, Instagram, all over the place, just loving the Dirt Road Cred version. And I'm sure there were some people at corporate that were looking at that and laughing a bit. So definitely drop a comment on this one as they are watching. And we enjoyed this one. So thanks to Anthony for having us down here to check this out. He's got a ton of beautiful Wranglers and Gladiators here. And this one just came in. So we're waiting on the Willys 392, waiting on the Moab 392, and we can't wait to see those once they arrive here in person. And if you guys are subscribed, you're going to be the first ones to see these kind of things to help make your decision or just see what Jeep is working on. Until next time, though, we really enjoyed this video. This has been great, and we're excited for warm weather. We will be in Daytona T-minus less than 1 week from today, and we'll be enjoying the warm weather down there. Do not forget, if you're in Daytona Thursday, April 23rd from 10 to 4, we're going to be having a subscriber celebration on the beach. You guys are going to enter at the Silver Beach ramp and then turn south. So if you're entering at the Silver Beach, you'll go right, and we'll be right there. You'll see we have orange and white striped flags, our Jeeps, the vendors that are going to be coming with. This is a permitted event with a local county approving it and putting the stamp on it, and we'll actually have an officer there. So really cool stuff, and we cannot wait to share some time with you guys down at the beach. And then after that, see you at the Speedway if you're going to be there. We will have a vendor booth. We don't know quite yet where it's at. We'll post it up, but we hope to see you guys there as well. Until next time, though, we got to pack our swim shorts and get down to Florida. Ryan's behind the camera. I'm here talking to you, and we want you to get out there and earn yours.